Ooh, big hit straight away from J-Core's team onto the INSD folk. Obviously very hard to hit with these huge cannons, but they are landing shots regardless. Both teams with very, very similar configurations. I believe it's really going to come down to who's the best pilot, who's able to configure those turrets to be in the right place at the right time. I've completely forgotten the team names, even though they put in a lot of effort to come up with very, very serious professional names. INSD is on the right still, and J-Core is on the left, or warp roll, should I say. Hard to tell who's winning at this point, but by the looks of it, I must say that Warp is landing more shots, and they do! They managed to get a huge hit, taking them all out. Point 1 goes to Warp. Okay, so we have the Pineapple Pilots on the right, and Percy Jackson 5, as it turns out, on the left. Now, the Pineapple Pilots are down 1. Percy Jackson 5 sitting with a nice win under their belt. Lots of fire. Percy Jackson 5 team being quite conservative with their ammo right now, and now they're starting to unleash. Maybe battle of attrition. Maybe they'll run out of ammo before the real fighting commences. Doing a lot more distance this time, whereas last time it was a bit of a broadside. Looks like the Pineapple Pilots are being the aggressors this time. They don't care about munitions, they're not footing the bill, just send it. I'm gonna say from the outlook, it does look like Percy Jackson 5 is taking more hits this time. Wonder if this is a new strategy or they just feel sorry for the other team. Jousting going on, just like the old days of Star Citizen light fighter jousting before master modes. Big hits from both teams. Both teams going to be really hurting after that engagement. That'll be why they're creating some distance now. This is a best of 5. So this win doesn't determine who wins. But if Percy Jackson 5 gets the win, they are sitting comfortably with only one win remaining. Huge hits going on, and for some reason they're not really responding very well. There's something feels wrong on the Percy Jackson 5 ship. They are taking hit after hit after hit. I gotta say, the Pineapple Pilots are probably feeling quite good about this engagement right now. If I were them, I'd be going on the aggression right now. Try to finish this fight. Sending out some missiles by the looks of it. No, rather just some chaff and flares. This is it. This is the big broadside. Huge hits again. How how is the Percy Jackson 5 still standing? Let's have a closer look, see if we can see some damage. Here they come. Full thrust ahead. Both teams having a little standoff. A little momentary truce. It's Christmas Day in the trenches. Trying to nice and close back and hit ourselves. Whoa! Big hits! Remember, it only takes just one to... They shot the cameraman. Very good. Thank you very much for that.
Welcome.
Sure they'll know how pleased I will be with that. Now where were we? A little check. Okay. It's Jackson 5 on the left. Pineapple Pilots on the right. Both trading real blows this time. This is going on a lot longer than the last fight. Both teams have been way more conservative, and the Pineapple Pilots take this win. Round 3 of Percy Jackson 5 and the Pineapple Crew going off with a ram. Nope, they miss. Probably for the best. Remember, these are huge rounds. All it takes is just one in the wrong spot and that team's out. Just one knockout blow is all it takes. Although they've got some serious distance this time. Of course, a great supporter of the Percy Jackson 5, especially because the stray round that I caught in the last round was from the Pineapple Crew. Even though I'm in the same org as the Pineapple Crew, International Space Defense. This is a big engagement. I don't think all of the Pineapple Crew's turrets are on point. Of course, a very difficult task. The Perseus basically has to be side on to its opponent, perfectly side on, otherwise the turrets just don't align. And you're trying to do this whilst flying a sub-capital ship. It's, you know, the game naturally gets you to look forward instead of sideways, so you've sort of got to do a lot of guesswork to make sure you're in the right spot. Talking to teammates, it's really a big task of communication to make sure that everybody can see the targets and everybody's firing, and that you're doing the best job as the pilot. Huge hits. Percy Jackson 5 perfectly placed. There we go, both turrets now firing from the Pineapple Pilots, but a little bit too late as they are just too far away. Another joust. We've got some fantastic flares. Not sure why they were doing that. Oh! Some cheeky missiles. I just saw them go past. Makes me thinking it was sort of a celebration or a commencement of the fight. You know, you'd think at some point they'd just go, screw this, let's go side by side, let's just hash it out and see what happens. Oh, that is very, very close to the station. They could be going in to make a hit. Oh, skimmed it. Pilots kept it on point, both turrets firing. Pirates doing an excellent job at keeping it side on, although the distance just means that they're gonna miss. Those projectiles fire so slowly. There we go, we've got some hits now. Although that top turret doesn't seem to be firing. Having some difficulty with alignment, but that is the name of the game. That's what makes it so difficult. It's keeping both of them aligned at the same time. That pilot is doing everything. He's going to be keeping an eye on ship systems. If one section goes red, he's got to point that away from the enemy, otherwise they're going to punish him. He's got to keep all turrets aligned. He's got to make sure that the shields are up. He's got to do distance management. He's got to make sure he doesn't crash into any debris. Seems like they're both orbiting each other right now at a fair distance. Seems like those shells are coming closer to me than the Perseus. Let's have a quick look at the Percy Jackson 5. See if we can see any damage. I think we can see some large holes in the hull there. Of course, it is also possible to disable the turrets if you manage to land a few hits on the right spot, but that doesn't seem to have happened. One right on the nose then. Yes, I think the ship has seen better days. They are certainly the aggressors right now. Nope, they've both turned around, they're both going, screw this, let's go head on. Misalignment from both teams. The Pineapple pilots firing away. Why not? We've got plenty of cannon rounds. Tournament does not care how much ammo you spent. That the other team is dead. Alignment dicey for both teams. Landing some hits. I've got to say though, they seem really quite fair right now. Both sides have dished it out and both sides have taken it. Right now I couldn't call who's going to win. Go. It's like good alignments from both sides. Like pirate battles of old. Get a good broadside off. Massive damage on both ships. Yeah, they are still landing hits on both sides. I don't know why that Percy Jackson 5 team just keeps not firing. It's like they don't think it's worth it, or they're just going to save the ammo for the next round. But the Pineapple Pirates are way more liberal with the ammo. And you know, they score extra hits because of it. They may miss 10 rounds, but because they hit that one more, I think that's why they won the last game. Both sides barely missing each other. Going in for another wave. It is so hard to hit those rounds at any distance. They both suddenly agreed that this is the right distance. We're going to open up and take each other down. pineapple pilots maybe coming off a little worse around the edges from that fight. You do wonder why they would fire around when there was just no chance in the world that that's going to hit. Unless you've got the greatest turret gunners in the world on your side. Which, let's face it, they don't. Here they come. Just going to check who's on the right here. Okay, the pineapple pilots. You'd think that the head-on is going to be the more aggressive stance, which is correct in most ways. It doesn't mean that they're going to close the gap, but the one that's side-on is the one that's going to be doing all the damage. More defensive, maybe. Oh, is this looking like a ram? Nope, not quite. But that defensive broadside is also going to be what deals the damage. You don't really want to be head-on. You don't really want to be running away. You want to be on your side. Seems like each fight is taking longer than the last. That first one, over in a minute. A nice closer look at this magnificent ship. Here they go. Hits from both sides. That was a very close shave onto the camera then. Irritating in the slightest. There you go. Taking some hits. And the pineapple pilots take on the second win. 2-1 to the pineapples. Here we go. Round 4. Pilots opening with their first salvos, missing, but it doesn't matter. Skimming the hull down. There we go, we've got some hits. Big hits from both sides. They are in atmosphere now, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. There's some debris flying around. Now we're playing some much more aggressive playstyle. Nice and tight in there, aligning themselves. All turrets are able to fire at the same time. Right now, it seems to be a problem. We are getting out of the simulation. We need to get closer to the planet. It's being guarded. Here, they don't seem to get out there going up anyway. They gave me chicken. To die first. It could be the simulation that gets them. Well, I've got to say, this time round, Percy Jackson 5 is doing a much better job. Now, getting desperate to get back down to planet, I assume. The simulation's got to be running really quite close on them. They may just have made it, but at what cost? Massive hits being landed onto Percy Jackson 5 there. Pineapple pilots are hitting their mark. Right now they're also taking it, armor plates being shot off. They need to orientate themselves a little bit better. That bottom turret's probably not going to be able to hit. We can see its target. Now closer towards the enemy. Fire a few torpedoes. Countermeasures firing off. Miss. Fire another one. Big hits landing. But now they're also taking those hits. There we go, we've got that same orbiting behaviour that we've seen around. course, no changes in strategies from the Pineapple pilots. They're sticking. Of course, now in atmosphere we've got different flight models, and they've got to make sure that they don't hit the ground and that they don't go out of bounds. This is a very different arena, which hopefully will shape things up. Of course, the Percy Jackson 5 have admitted that they trained in the atmosphere and they're ready for this battle. Ooh, big hit. Something's fallen off. Looks like nothing important. Missing an air brake. Let's have a little look as they go in for a front-on joust. Missiles being flung around, and that's it. Percy Jackson 5 is eliminated. The win goes to the Pineapple pilots, who are now trying to hit me. Those little bastards.